Alongside Kwame Brown and Vincent Orange, the candidates for D.C. Council Chairman in the District of Columbia, I'm Bruce Depuyt. Welcome back to the Wednesday edition of News Talk here on TBD. A couple times it's come up, maybe in passing or whatever, the issue of your personal debt. I owe you opportunity to respond, Mr. Brown.
Well, we've had an opportunity to be on the show and talk about it. We've had an opportunity to talk about it throughout the whole city. Mr. Orange says $700,000 in debt. I take full responsibility of my credit card issues. I've talked about accepting that responsibility and moving forward to make sure those things are taken care of and it won't happen again. $700,000 includes my house, which sometimes he forgets to mention, as it relates to total liabilities for a 39-year-old with 2 kids. Let me also say, as it relates to, he mentioned that Kwame Brown owes the IRS. That's not factual. That we don't owe the IRS anything. And he keeps saying things that are just not true. Now, what he is looking at is he went and looked at the campaign reports and says, oh, well, you owe this information. Well, we don't. The Office of Campaign, I think it's good to get this in open. He had a press conference because he's been shopping around things forever, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, Mr. Bruce, and no one's bid onto it, so he decided to have his own press conference and invite it and say something's wrong. And we didn't even get a letter from the Office of Campaign Finance. We got it faxed to us because they said it's something that they mailed. We responded within 4 hours to their inquiry, asking specific questions, and they have that this morning. We believe that we're in full compliance. We've answered every single question, and we look forward to this being a non-issue.
One person quoted by the Washington Post, voter chosen at random, said, what's happening in someone's personal life is their personal business. I look at the public, man or woman, so I'm fine with Councilman Brown because I look at the public sphere of voting and advocacy. What's wrong with that?
Well, Bruce, today now they get to look at the government side, because Kwame Brown's problem have moved from personal finance to campaign finance. He has a committee that has been in operation since 2004 that has not closed. He made a payment to the Internal Revenue Service. I didn't produce these documents. These are his documents. This is his mess. I'm standing to the side and as an attorney and a CPA with a Master of Laws and Taxation looking at these numbers, and they don't add up. He made a payment to the Internal Revenue Service. The Office of Campaign Finance want to know, why are you making payments to the IRS? Please bring in your paperwork. He has not produced documents from the IRS stating why he has that liability.
Councilman Brown.
And let me finish, because you only give me 30 seconds. I have to finish and he can answer everything. And then on the second part, today in the paper it says that his accountant indicates that they don't have a surplus. Well, you know, he filed these documents, he has surpluses. So which is right, his accountant or Kwame Brown? So let's get to the bottom of it.
Let's find out. He's sitting right here.
Surplus.
Well, thank you. One, I think that Mr. Orange, again, is basically not telling the truth, and he's known to be exaggerate things that are not factual. We have responded to the Office of Campaign Finance report. The paper came out in the Washington Post today that laid it all out in terms of my county not actually filing the information properly. We do not owe the IRS. We believe a campaign.
But he made a payment to the IRS.
Can I finish? Can I be finished?
How can you not owe?
Can I finish? So what we basically did, because Mr. Orange continues to say, well, you owe the IRS, not saying that we're in dispute. And instead of having this long process, we paid him, and we are now actually trying to get reimbursed because we believe, as well as many people, that it's impossible for us to owe the IRS. So just put that to bed. So that's a non-issue. Let's go over to the other side. He had some questions about, and these are allegations. What he's saying is allegations. Home security payment, why did you pay it like I was paying my home security? Of course, the Washington Post cleared it up and says that's not actually true. Did we do some debits and credits? Should we have put it on the debit side and not the credit side? That's why we've amended our report to make sure that it's all in line with Office of Campaign Finance. And be honest with you, Bruce, what happens when you close out a campaign, all of it's reconciled. And he knows this. He's a CPA.
I have a question, though.
He knows this.
Isn't an account from an 04 race supposed to close then? And why are there accounts from 04 and 08 still open? And did the balance go from 70,000 to 0 and back to 70? No. Because for a guy whose personal issues have become part of the public debate, I think some people will say, where'd the money go?
Well, and that's why we've responded this morning to the Office of Campaign, and we believe that this will be a non-issue. When you talk about the IRS, we've been open and transparent, Bruce. The reason why you have this information, because we've been open about it. We've been open with our dispute, saying that we do not owe, and of course the IRS takes a long process in order to try to get a dispute resolved. During that process, our accounting passed away, and he's no longer with us, and I want to say my prayers out to him, his family. So you say, well, why didn't you close close it. Well, you can't close something if you've been showing that it's a debt on the books because you're in dispute. That's the reason why I didn't close. And the reason why we made a decision to pay it, because so Mr. Orange doesn't continue to stretch what he seems to be a fault and says, well, he owes the IRS, and then go and get reimbursed. That's what we decided to do. On the second front, the Office of Campaign Finance sent a letter in which we responded in 4 hours that resolved all of these issues, which is a non-issue. So now he's speaking on a press conference that he had yesterday.
This is the point. If I go to bed last night with $20 in my pocket, I wake up the next morning, I should still have $20 in my pocket. Kwame Brown's campaign went to bed one night and had $73,000, and the very next morning they reported they had $0. Where is the $73,000? Now, I went to TD Bank this morning, and I pulled my bank statement. It says Vincent Orange has $46,000 in the bank. I'm challenging Mr. Kwame Brown to go get his bank statement and show us that it has $73,000 and not zero. And if he has $73,000, this whole issue is over. It's the ball is in his court. Let's deal with it. He says he takes responsibility. No, Kwame Brown, you did not take responsibilities. The courts took responsibility. The courts entered judgments on you, and based on those judgments, you had to pay.
Only 45 seconds left. It's yours.
Let me just say, I mean, when you're down 31 points in the polls, when your own ward will not endorse you, where you can only pick up one endorsement, people are tired of the politics.
I have 7 endorsements. I've been endorsed by the Washington Post.
I have only 30 seconds left.
I've been endorsed by the Baptist Ministers Convention. I've been endorsed by the Building and Construction Trades.
Mr. Brown, please.
And I've been endorsed by
Mr. Brown,
Plastics and
please
Cement.
finish.
I think that's a perfect example of why we need leadership under Kwame Brown and not Vincent Orange.
Well, that's
because
why we need fact checks.
You have to be the ability to work with each other. When people disagree and they're down, it's a pattern of Mr. Orange where he sued Linda Kropp when he didn't get his way, being in baseball, didn't get in his committee. People know that they're tired of the 80 and 90 ways of politics, and we need to move forward on how we educate our kids, get our people back to work.
And that is the last word. Kwame Brown and Vincent Orange, thank you for coming in for a spirited, full discussion.
Thank you very
both
much
for being with us. We'll pause here. Back with a program note right after this.
You're watching